Hello, Internet. It is I, Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. Today, we're going to be talking about Freakier Friday. So, as usual, we're going to be going over the pros and cons. So, let's get to it. Pros. So, Freakier Friday. This is obviously the sequel to Freaky Friday, which came out 22 years ago, damn near to the day, as you can see right here. Had the 2003 movie came out on Friday, it would have been exactly to the day. And you're probably like, wait a minute, what do you mean by that? Well, for a movie called Freaky Friday, this right here came out on a Wednesday. Yeah. You think I'm joking? You think I'm lying? No, I'm dead serious. Look, Wednesday opening and then the weekend. Why they decided to do that, I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you. And also, doing some research, I learned quite a bit about Freaky Friday. I for the longest time I thought it was just this movie and that was it. But no, there's a whole bunch of Freaky Fridays out there. It's not just this and Freakier Friday. Because I'm looking at the Wikipedia page, and apparently it consists of the original 1976 film, and then two made for TV standalone sequels, and then a TV movie adaptation, then the theatrical remake, which is what the 2003 movie was, then a Broadway musical, then a Disney Channel movie adaptation of that musical, and then now Freaky Friday. All these movies for such a very simple premise of just good old fashioned body swap. Like it boggles the mind. But most people know of the 2003 movie, and no one really cares about the others. But anywho, Freaky Friday '03. So yeah, this came out at a very different time when it comes to movies, different era entirely. Came out like in the later part of summer. And this was like when Disney was like kind of struggling a lot theatrically. This was like long before the days where they bought Marvel and Star Wars and all of that jazz. They didn't even own Pixar yet. But Freaky Friday, it released. It was received well. Became a nice, late summer hit. Had strong legs, as you can see right here. Made 110 million domestically, 160 million worldwide on a budget of like 26 million. So very much a hit. And it's become like a cornerstone for like 2000 tween girl media. It was like this. There was like quite a bit in like the early 2000s that really like appealed to like that tween market. It was like this. There was Mean Girls. There was I know the High School Musical movies. There was like Hannah Montana as well. Um, there's a bunch of other stuff I can't think about. I guess a lot of Amanda Bynes movies. I think at the time, yeah, several several of her movies definitely qualifies that. But yeah, Freaky Friday is seen as like a big like cult classic. People love it. I've never seen it, so I can't comment on the quality of the movie, but I know it's beloved. So it makes sense that Disney would want to like circle back to the 2003 movie like eventually, and now here we are. So yeah, 2003 movie with its reputation and its success. Yeah, that's obviously a pro right there. So that's pro number one. You have the benefit of nostalgia too. So just want to mention that as well. Okay, another pro. Reviews for this are pretty decent. They're a lot better than I thought they were gonna be. I thought it was gonna be like, probably like a 40-50%. It's actually a 73% critic score, 94% audience score, and cinema score is an A. So word of mouth across the board is rather good, especially on the audience side. So obviously, good word of mouth across the board. That's a pro. Another pro is that when it comes to direct competition, there really isn't a whole lot. I mean, yes, there's The Naked Gun when it comes to like comedies, but this and The Naked Gun could not be any more different. The Naked Gun is very much like a spoof comedy. This is like a straightforward comedy, so it's not quite this. Very much not the same. And plus, one's more male centric, the other's more female centric. I think you can guess which one is which. Uh, um, and plus, we haven't really had a whole lot of like female centric movies this summer, not like an overwhelming amount. So obviously, that's going to help this movie as well. So yeah, just the lack of direct competition for this movie, and I guess for competition later on. Like after this weekend, things are going to take a dive when it comes to hype. People for movies, people are excited about because the dog days, those summer dog days are going to hit hard starting next weekend. So that gives Freakier Friday, an advantage there because people are just not going to be wanting, not going to want to go to the movies to see like new movies. We'll just watch like older stuff because either just out of boredom or just because why not? And I feel like Freakier Friday will benefit from that. In fact, a lot of like early August movies will benefit from that, I believe. So yeah, lack of real direct competition, I'll label that as a pro. Another pro is preview numbers 3.1 million. Not bad. A whole lot better than Naked Gun, which I was like 1.65 million, almost doubled. So I say that's a very good sign. I mean, this was never going to pop off like huge. It's never going to be like, say, a Lilo and Stitch level hit. Like, no. That was never in the cards. But yeah, I say these previews are solid enough for what this is. So yeah, I'll label that as a pro. Another pro is our two leads here, Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan, reprising their roles from the 2003 movie. And obviously these two, seeing them again doing their thing is going to be like a huge selling point with this movie. So we got to talk about them. First, we talk about Jamie Lee Curtis. Laurie Strode from Halloween. And she's been around for a long time, ever since she was, Laurie in the Halloween movies, or at least Halloween 1, 2. And then I got to find it. Halloween H2O, then Halloween Resurrection, which no one wants to talk about because the movie made the fatal error of killing her off. But then they made the recent Halloween movies, Halloween 2018, then Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends. But besides the Halloween movies, she's been in other stuff. The Fog, Prom Night. I don't know if I would count Escape from New York. I don't know if I would count that. I don't know about Fish Called Wanda. I guess I can count that. Some of these movies I just don't never heard of in my life. I know True Lies. That was a hit. And then Freaky Friday, obviously a hit. Christmas with the Cranks didn't do that great theatrically, but I imagined it's probably made a big profit now since it's a Christmas movie and those get played every year, even if people don't like it. And then Beverly Hills Chihuahua. I don't remember her being in that movie at all. Granted, I have a very vague memory of that movie, but I guess it was a hit. Then Halloween 2018, The Knives Out, then Everything Ever All at Once, where she won an Oscar, Best Supporting Actress. I forgot about the Haunted Mansion movie from 2 years ago. I'm pretty sure you all forgot about it too, for good reason, because it wasn't very good. It was just instantly forgettable, and it was a huge bomb too. Then Borderlands. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. That enough has been said about that movie. But yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis, people know who she is. I mean, she's got an Oscar for crying out loud. Then we got Lindsay Lohan. This is the first time I think I've ever talked about Lindsay Lohan on this channel. So, I mean, I guess, hooray, I get to talk about her. But yeah, Lindsay Lohan, it's her first main claim to fame, at least her first claim to fame, was part of the Parent Trap, where she played twins in that movie. And then, like, the early 2000s, she became like a tween girl icon, like a 2000s tween girl icon with Freaky Friday, I guess to a lesser extent, Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen, and then Mean Girls, one of my favorite movies of all time, my favorite comedy of all time. Then Herbie Fully Reloaded, I guess, but mainly Freaky Friday and Mean Girls. Like those are like her two like main movies. And when you think of Lindsay Lohan, you think of those two movies. But then, unfortunately, things started going very wrong in her life. She had a lot of demons to deal with, a lot of substance abuse, paparazzi shit, really bad shit. Like she was not in a good place. And, which is like unfortunate, very tragic, like side effect of being like a child star. But just a lot of personal struggle in her life. Thankfully, she was able to, you know, clean herself up, get clean, get away from all that. I'm happy for her because this type of situation, like it could go very badly. It could be just straight up tragic. It could lead to like someone's like premature death. So I'm glad Lindsay Lohan did not go down that route. Like, Macaulay Culkin went down a very similar route, but he was able to, get past that. And I'm just glad that Lindsay's in a good place. So, yeah, she's made some Netflix movies in the last few years, but this is like her first big theatrical movie, I guess main movie since, I guess, Machete. I don't know if I count Scary Movie 5. I mean, I guess. She played like a fictionalized version of herself. But yeah, she hasn't really had like a real big hit in like quite some time. But again, she was like an icon for like 2000s tween girls. So people very much know who she is. And seeing her on the big screen again alongside Jamie Lee Curtis, as I mentioned, that's a big selling point of the movie. So yeah, obviously that's gonna be a pro. Is there any other pros? I don't think so. So let's go to cons. Cons. I guess comedy is a very risky, very risky genre these days because comedy just kind of died in theaters. There's like straight up comedies, like unless it's like a superhero comedy, like say Deadpool, like that's the exception. But straight up comedies, they all kind of went to streaming or they all kind of went extinct. Hollywood's been trying to like really bring it back, and this August has been we've had two, Naked Gun and Freakier Friday, so there's progress being made. But yeah, comedy is still not the most profitable genre right now. I mean, Naked Gun did like okay-ish last week. This will do better, but it won't be like how it was like back in the day where you had like comedy movies open with like 40, 50. Hangover Part 2 opened like what 85 mil back in 2011. So I don't think we're gonna see those days ever again. But you know, this will do better than most. But still, comedy is not really a safe genre, box office wise. So I'll label that as a con. And I guess I don't know any other real cons. I mean, the main movie this is going up against this weekend is Weapons, and Weapons and Freakier Friday could not be any more different from each other. like, like one's a feel good movie, what the other's a feel bad movie. Okay, they have very different vibes and tones. So yeah, but Weapons does have more momentum on its side. So, I mean, that won't really help Freakier Friday. But then again, Weapons is a whole. It's just all. It's its own thing. It's not even comparable to Freakier Friday. But I don't know. I guess. Shoot, I really can't think of anything else. I'm struggling. I can't think of anything else. So you know what? Let's just skip right to box office. Opening weekend. So projections are saying this will open with like 30 million, which sounds about right. So I'm gonna stick with that. 30 million opening weekend. Its total, its legs should be okay. I mean, late August is. I mean, there are movies coming out, but I don't expect any of them to be barn burners. So, it could survive. It could thrive. I don't know. But I'm going to say between 90 and 100 million. I think that's achievable. And it'll be good considering this movie only costs like 40 something $1 million, which it's kind of crazy Disney's releasing a movie like this now, considering, for the last few years, for the last while, really, they've been like exclusively releasing like 100, 200, $300 million blockbuster esque movies. So to release like a modest budget movie like this now, it's kind of like it's a nice change of pace, and it'll be easier for them to make a profit. So, I mean, that's good for them, I guess. And it kind of makes me wonder, like with this release, I forgot to mention this, but you know, even though this movie was, they say it was meant to be theatrical, I can't help but feel that they probably thought of maybe having this like as a Disney Plus movie, because that's what they did with like Hocus Pocus 2 and Disenchanted. But then they realized, maybe we can make some money. Maybe there are people out there who are willing to watch this on the big screen. And that's why they decided to make it theatrical from the get go. Because, hey, going from Disney Plus to theatrical, it's gone great for them. I mean, Moana 2, $1 billion. Lilo and Stitch, $1 billion. So, I guess Disney's realizing, sometimes theatrical really is king. So, yeah, wanted to mention that. But, yeah, that's it for Freakier Friday. So, we got three more movies to talk about. You got Sketch, which came out earlier in the week, but I'm talking about it now. Sketch, Strange Harvest, which no one's watching, and then Weapons. That's the one I really want to talk about. But I'll be making those videos real soon, like after this one. So stay tuned for those. But yeah, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, share the whole drill. You want to check out more videos like this? I got playlists on the homepage, all previous prediction videos I made this year or the past few years. You want to watch any of them, go right ahead. There's also box office recaps where I go over the box office results for any particular month. My July recap, that'll either be Saturday or Sunday, more than likely Sunday. So stay tuned for that. And my August recap, that won't be till like the second weekend of September, which will be a horrifically busy weekend, as you can see. So you stay tuned for that as well. But if you want to watch any of the past recap videos I made on the channel, you can go right ahead. There's also the canceled series where I went over all the movies that were supposed to come out but didn't. Never talked about Freakier Friday in that series. So there's that. But if you want to watch any of the past recap videos, not recap, cancel episodes, all 250 episodes of Cancelled, you want to binge watch it from beginning to end, I highly suggest you do that, so go do it. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.